Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, September 8th, and we have a new head of household, and we had a kind of blindside. We had a bigger blindside in the works, and it got canceled for some reason, so let's talk about that. As I think I said yesterday, Red was the target, and we thought the vote was going to be like 8-2, where Bowie and Cameron would be the only two to vote for Red to stay, for Jag to go. But then Felicia and Nicole yesterday morning decided that they thought that Jag should still go. That I think that Jag and Matt were getting too close, maybe. But so whatever reason they came up with it, they decided that was going to happen, but the others in the house didn't agree, but they didn't tell them they didn't agree. They didn't disagree. They just were like, they decided to go along with it to let them think that's what's going to happen, but in reality, they were still going to vote out Red. And then, so in essence, Nicole and Felicia would be blindsided because they're expecting Jag to get evicted, and Red gets evicted instead. And of course, Cameron and Red and Bowie, Jane, will also be blindsided. So fast forward to last night's show. They positioned the votes in such a way that indeed we thought that it was very possible that it was going to be that's how the votes were going to go, but the last two to vote were Nicole and Felicia said, she was second to last, and she said, due to new intelligence, I'm voting to evict Red. And it was like, okay, they couldn't keep their mouths shut, and they told Felicia that they were going to vote out, that they weren't going to do what she wanted, or however they decided to phrase it to Felicia, like, oh, we can't do this, Felicia, we have to keep Jag, and we got to vote out Red. Whatever they did, it appears they convinced Felicia and Nicole, aka Mimi, to vote out Red. Who went out? We saw that. He seemed pretty broken up. He was very gracious. He was very complimentary and happy to hear about Jared and Suri. Whatever. They did a live head of household competition, which everyone was excited about because we were hopeful that meant the feeds would come back right away. But we were also hopeful, I was, that whole plan had gone through and Felicia and Nicole had been shocked. And that, you know, the blowback from that would be that they would be on the wrong side of the house, and they could break up alliances, and we could see some shaking up gear going on in the house, but no. And then Cameron wins head of household, right? Oh, wow. And the house is so anticlimactic and really awkward, and we thought, this will be interesting. Now, I thought, wow, I bet Felicia and Nicole wish they hadn't switched their votes now because they voted against Red, whereas they could have said, we voted for Red, but people would have been scrambling to claim those votes. It could have been really interesting. But alas, Cameron and Bowie Jane know they're the only two that voted to keep Red. So we waited after the show ended for the feeds to come back, and they did not come back until after the West Coast airing, which meant they came back at like 1:20 a.m. Eastern Time. So we don't know what happened in those 3.5 or 3 hours and 20 minutes after the show ended. But it's so weird because as soon as the feeds clicked on, you saw Cameron and Bowie Jane talking in the Have Not room, and it's right then that he says, well, Jag's going this week, or Jag's going up this week. And it was like, what? That's right then is that when he said it's been 3.5 hours, and right at this moment is when he finally talks with Bowie Jane and says that. It just seemed really odd timing, but we'll take it. But he's also putting up Jag, right? It just seemed like, really, that's your target through all this? I guess, his thought is, I'm going to finish what I started 2 weeks ago. I guess that's his attitude. I didn't get out the first time, I'm going to get him out this time. But you know what, dude? He's not your biggest problem. But he doesn't seem to realize that, because the rest of the house has managed to convince him that the whole plan to get rid of Red was not, they must have convinced him it was Jag. I don't know. We didn't see it because the feeds were off. Because we can't have nice things. So there you go. That's the gist. And this morning when I jumped online to see what else was up, it appears that Cameron told Blue that she'd be going up as a, quote, pawn. Cameron said he wants her to play in the veto. What a line that is. I want you to play in the veto, so I'm going to nominate you. It's like, no, it's okay. I'll just take a chance and I play. I don't need to play. You don't have to put me up. But she's going to be nominated next to Jag, it sounds like. I don't know what's going to happen this week. I would think that unless Jag wins the power veto, he's going home. But I just don't know. So, Julie announced something special about the jury. We don't know yet what. That would be revealed next Thursday. There's talk about a 2-hour show next Wednesday. I don't know what's going to be special that they're going to manage to come up with 2 hours worth of material. I think there's still a show on Sunday. So they're going to have to give us all kinds of extra bonus stuff. I'm not sure. I'm kind of concerned that they don't seem to be giving us a whole lot of extra content that is, more than just, stuff. I mean, last night's show, when we had so much flipping and flopping going on, again, so much strategy and all this, they decided to spend a few minutes on the America Cameron showmance. And then I have to address the elephant in the room, which I am guilty of feeding the flames for it a little bit. I got a ping from, I don't know if she listens, one of my friends from back in the, it was a long time ago. I won't say it but it was an online friend that I've known and met in person from back in my Ron and Fez and Opie and Anthony days. And she pointed out something that was going on, that when Cameron voted, and you can go back and watch it, it's really weird because it looks to me like he says he's voting to evict Jag. His mouth, it looks like it says Jag when you hear Red. Now, this has been batted around. I was like, whoa, it does look like that. It looks like it was audio dubbed. It really does to me. There's other people that said clearly it doesn't. So this is one of those, what was it, the blue dress or the gold dress kind of a thing where, and there was another audio one where you could hear, two people could hear different things and you just couldn't agree. It's like, no, they're saying this, but they're saying this. Well, this was one of those moments. And I immediately was like, whoa, this is weird. This is strange. It really looks like he was saying Jag and not Blue. And so I tweeted about it and added everybody, including TMZ, which I thought I was really proud of myself. And it got some people talking, and in the end, I was like, okay, no, it wasn't, and I felt kind of silly, but I thought I can't take it down now because everybody's seen it and it will look strange so I just let it sit there and just let it fester, and I moved on, and I even posted afterwards, I'm past this, I don't, it's like, but I can't take it down, so it's just going to sit here. So yeah, that was weird. I don't think there's any conspiracy. I don't think anything really happened, but it looked really weird. Someone else tweeted me a link that he put up back on the very first vote where Corey said, well, I didn't say Cameron. Corey's the one who said the vote where he voted for Red, but it looked like he said he voted for Jag. But Corey also said his vote, or whatever he said in this clip the first week, where he said, beat you, Zach, or whatever. But right before he said that, his mouth did not match up with what the words came out. It was very strange. It was the same kind of thing, except for it didn't matter, and it wasn't to do with the vote. But yeah, so who knows what that was about? We just got to move on. That's what I got, guys. I think it's going to be Blue and Jag nominated. I think Jag is the target. Power vetoes tomorrow. Nominations will be today. All the house guests except for Cameron are going to have to be have-nots for the entire week. I was hopeful that they'd all be in unitards, but they aren't. Only nobody's in unitards, but that would have been good. Come on, admit it. It would have may have gotten old really quick, but having every single house guest except for Cameron walking around in unitards, that would have been interesting. Yeah. Now, I can say this because I wouldn't want to see myself in a unitard, but there's some of those house guests that I wouldn't want to see in a unitard either. So it could still be interesting though, right? No talk of unitards. When they came back from the end of the show, everybody was dressed normally, but I had my hopes up. So yeah, we'll see what else is in store. Julie teases this stuff for the TV viewers, like it's going to be a week of humiliation, but all they have to do is generate, 5 minutes of content to call it an entire week. So don't expect some major things like I suggested. It's just not going to happen likely. So they did, by the way, if you notice, the head of household competition, yeah, the tooting stuff, whatever. They did fix the kicker. They fixed the kicker shortly after I said it was broken a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I ever said it was fixed, so obviously it has been fixed, and they do use it. And nobody was have-nots last week. I don't know if I ever said that, or we were wondering if anyone was have-nots, but some people were still kind of hanging out in the have-not room a lot, so we thought maybe people were have-nots. But no one was have-not last week, but now everyone is a have-not this week. Oh, well. There you go. We'll see if I do any kind of content this weekend. I have no idea if anything exciting happens. I probably, if things get interesting and someone besides Jag becomes the target, I may jump online to talk about it. But if you don't hear from me and you only follow the show by listening to these podcasts, then you can assume that all systems are go for Jag to be voted out, and I'll fill you in on Monday. If something changes, I will definitely let you guys know. So, happy Friday, everybody. I hope you have a good weekend. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you to everybody else. I was looking at my other phone today, and I realized I hadn't recorded a video podcast for a couple of weeks, so I'll probably do that early next week maybe, and post it online for my patrons. So you got that to look forward to, right? We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks again. Bye-bye.